Good morning and welcome to my channel. What do I normally say?
Morning and welcome to my channel, A Country Life.
Oh yes, that's what I normally say. Good morning and welcome to my channel, A Country Life. I'm Jennifer. I'm in the kitchen with Maria. I can still say good morning because it is 11:25. We have been just running. Just a minute, Joe. We have been just running around crazy, haven't we, today? Is that an egg? I think that's a shell in there. Thank you. Just doing general Christmas stuff, wrapping presents, just so much here.
Yep.
But what we're doing right now is getting ready for Maria's Christmas tea.
Party.
I'm not really sure how my brain works at this time of year, but the boys had a Christmas party. They both have Christmas parties to go to for our homeschool group for the older kids, but the younger kids did not have a Christmas party scheduled. And so just on a whim, I was like, Maria, you could have a Christmas tea and invite all of your little girlfriends over. And it's happening. So here we go.
Tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. We are prepping. She is making brownies right now to make little mini brownies. I'll just take you along on all the little food things that we're going to be doing to get ready for her Christmas tea.
Okay. Only got 2 drips there and there.
All right. So.
For Uncle Adam's present.
Do we have any,
Because it fit best for them to be at the bottom because Peter kind of just jammed it all in.
Yep.
Okay, Mom, so should I put it in the oven? Is it preheated?
Preheated, it says 350, so it's preheated.
There's probably enough for another pan, so one pan this, the other will be the other kind. Yeah, there's definitely enough for another pan.
Well, I am finally checking in again here. It is about 10 to 3 now, and just so much going on. I ordered a second strand of these little like wire seed lights, so Peter and I got those put onto the tree, and now when I stand back and I squint, I mean it's daylight so it's kind of hard to see, but when I stand back and squint, now it looks just like what I want. Got some more presents wrapped. Well, I think I mentioned that. I actually wrapped 3 more presents this morning, just trying to get a few things wrapped each day. You know, you just kind of keep at it. Washing machine and dryer have been going non-stop. I had 5 loads of laundry that I wanted to get through the wash today. Then of course this was the day where Peter was like, hey, I think I should probably change my sheets and wash my pillows and my pillowcases and all the things. And Maria saw Peter, so then she went and she got all her stuff. So in the end, it's probably going to be 7 loads of laundry that we're running through the washing machine today, which seems like a lot. But then maybe I'll have a few days where I don't have to do some laundry. I would like to dust. The sun is kind of coming in and you probably can see dust, but that is not going to be for today. I've been putting out a few more decorations. I had this super long strand of green lights, and so I just wove it back and forth up there. I think I'm going to bring it in front of the Count Your Blessings sign there. I have 2 strands behind there, but I think I'm going to bring one of them in front. And I am going to go down to the basement to look for a couple little Christmassy decorations, something to put there. And I do have that empty glass jar over there. It's an antique. I don't know. It's just so pretty. Maybe I'll just leave it because it looks so pretty with the lights shining through it. But I was thinking maybe of putting like a pile of ornaments in there or something like that. One of our stools broke today, so there's another project to take care of. And then I did put together this little, do you call it a vignette maybe? This little area here today. I thought that was kind of pretty, just something to try to encourage people to not leave all their clutter. All over the counter here, but that just happens. I mean, and I also just wanted to mention to you guys that if you are feeling like very stressed around Christmas time, you are not alone, and 2, that is just so normal, because think about all the things that you do on a daily basis. I mean, and when you do those things, are you like, oh, I have just so much extra time in my day, I just don't know what to fill my day with? If that is the case, well, then maybe adding the Christmas stuff to your plate isn't quite so bad. But if you are in that predicament where you're already like, wow, there's a lot, I do a lot all day long, now you try to add on the Christmas baking and the Christmas concerts and all the Christmas activities and events and the wrapping, well, the buying and the wrapping, and even before the buying and the wrapping, the budgeting and the making a list. It all takes a ton of time. And so just know, I see the kids were rearranging ornaments. They play games with the tree. They're always playing like I Spy and stuff. And I come over here and I'm like, why are all those ornaments all like all mixed up or whatever? That's why. But my point here is that just, you know, just don't beat yourself up if there's things that you don't end up getting finished for Christmas, because there are only so many hours in the day. And if your day is already full, to try to fit in hours and hours of other activities, it's a lot. It's just a lot. Ooh, is that Warren in the dump truck, or is that? No, that sounds like a jet flying over. Warren has been doing a hauling project, so we have some reservoir, I guess maybe you could call it like reconstruction or something going on, and so he's been doing a lot of hauling and kind of reshaping and stuff like that. So I always hear these noises and I'm like, okay, is that the UPS truck? Is it the FedEx truck? Is it Warren coming by in a dump truck? Is it a jet? Is it the train? What is it? All right. I just got it in my head that I'm going to put up some icicle lights outside, and so I have one strand. Maria and I went out, we measured it. It's going to go the whole distance of like our front porch, and I thought that would be pretty. I don't know if I've ever actually put up icicle lights before. Yes, I did. I had some red lights, I think, that I did in the above the kitchen window one year, and that was so pretty. That was so pretty. But these are white with the white wire, and all of like the trim and everything on our front porch is white. So we're gonna go with that. Oh, here's another little spot. The table has seen a lot of kids over the years. But I just put together this little, I had this tray that I sometimes keep on the dining room table, and then I brought the antlers. I had been setting those on this table because I thought it was just so pretty. Wow, that is a lot of jets flying over. Very interesting. And I just found this greenery and the little candy canes. I just found that in my boxes, which are still right over there. I've been just digging through them, bringing things out. So I thought that looked kind of pretty out here too. Very, very woodsy. I came outside just to see what all the racket was about. There were a couple fighter jets. I don't know where they are now. But anyway, I come out and Warren comes out of the shed. He's like, he's looking too. I don't think he even knows I'm here because it was so incredibly loud. But he's looking too. We're all like, what is happening? Well, good morning. I am heading off to Walmart because I need to do a Walmart pickup. And last night I was thinking, I had said to Maria, oh, we have to get to Walmart. We're going to go early. And then I was like, why don't I just do a pickup? So, excuse me, we are still battling this cough. Warren and me, I think it's really just Warren and me right now, but it just does not want to go away. So anyway, I'm going in for a Walmart pickup, so I'm going to put on a podcast and listen there and back. And when we get back, we're going to make some spritz cookies. Well, there ended up being things that they were out of for my pickup, and so I was like, well, all right, here I go into the store, because I've had it happen before where they say they're out, but I come in and there's a whole bunch of it. So here I am looking for food coloring. And they legit are out, except for this one pack with black, brown, and blue. Black, brown, blue, and like a creamy color. So anyway, All right, I figured if I came over to the cake decorating area, I might find something. And this was kind of cool. I love this little 3-pack, but of course, you know, I really want green is the color I'm looking for. They've got red, blue, pink. I can't make green out of those colors. And even in the back, yeah. So I did find this individual green, so we're just going to go with this Kelly green and get out of here. Also, the book that I ordered that they said was not there, they actually had 4 copies of the book. So that is one little problem I would say with the like pickup orders, is that sometimes they just miss an item, which is kind of frustrating because that's the whole reason I did this, was to make it kind of quick. But anyway, at least I got my items. And as far as the food coloring, I mean, they can't read my mind when I order a 4-pack of the multicolors. They don't know which of those colors I'm actually needing. So that worked out fine, that I was at least able to find green, even though they didn't have like the multi-pack. I was still able to find the green. Okay, home. We got stuff to do to get ready for this tea party today. I'm home now, and this was from my Walmart pickup. And I got my calendar for January for 2024. What we tend to do at the end of the year when we don't have the next calendar, we just start writing random scribbles of all the things that are coming up on the cardboard. And then but it's time to get that stuff transferred because soon enough it's going to be 2024. Picked up a whole bunch of crescent rolls. These are going to be for later today. We're going to be doing like little pigs in a blanket for the girls for one of their like little supper foods. And then I picked up some almond bark and some dark chocolate chips. I would like to make a candy, a cucumber. I think if I would have known it was going to be this little, I probably would have gotten 2, but anyway, it'll work. The green food coloring. Bacon, because we are already out of all of the bacon from our half a hog that we bought back in whenever that was, August or something. Some hot dogs, some white bread here for their little, we're going to do like little crustless sandwiches for the girls. Some club crackers because I have an idea to do an hors d'oeuvre for our Christmas Eve, and I just thought I would just get those today so that I had them. And then some of these little naan breads, these little mini ones. So I was actually looking for what we would call party breads or appetizer breads or mini rye breads. I typed everything into the Walmart app trying to get that to come up, and I couldn't get that to come up. This kept coming up though, so I just got this, and we'll make the little cucumber sandwiches on the naan bread, some cream cheese, and then some more eggs. Peter just was doing the chickens this morning, 1 egg, so not much for eggs. And then here's a roll of the streamer paper to make Peter's to make the surprise ball, and then a couple of little Christmas books for our grandchildren. So I got the Jingle Bells, just one of the, this is a classic, the Little Golden Books. I always love these books. I know that they, I mean, the pages can tear, but still, just a classic. I love the drawings. It just reminds me, especially this one, it looks like all the Richard Scarries. Is that what it is? I don't know. But anyway, it's just classic pictures that I remember. And then this one just looks so cute with the Silent Night. I was going with the song theme this year. You pull that little tab out, and then this plays Silent Night. And the one in the store had the tab already out, so I listened to it, and it's just very sweet. So picked up these books. All right, we are going to get moving with the day. 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. We technically only have until 1:30 to get everything ready, so we have 4 hours. Okay, surprise, surprise. Peter and Maria are putting together Peter's surprise ball, which is turning out really cool. Yep, make sure it's nice and tight. And what did I, surprise, forget to do? They're not paying attention to me. I completely forgot to get the shortening. So for some reason, last night, I need some attention. Okay, so for some reason last night I forgot to put shortening onto that Walmart pickup order. Even though I looked over it to make sure I had everything, I didn't. So this was not the day that I was anticipating, but I have to run now again to go and get some shortening because Maria really wants to do spritz cookies. And our recipe, I have tried it with all butter before. It just doesn't work. You just need that shortening to help it hold together. So that's what I'm gonna do. Get my boots back on. And oh my gosh. All right, we got the Crisco. We're set. We got a lot going on. I walk in the door, they've got the first batch of cookies. This is the recipe called Peter's
Christmas cutouts.
Peter's Christmas Cutouts. So he is whipping up a batch of that. Look at how pretty those look. And remember to go on the low amount of time, right?
Yep, 8 minutes.
Okay. And if you're using a dark pan, you might even go for only like 6 to 7. Okay?
Okay.
Joe has assumed his position, which is going to be sitting here and coloring all of his new Christmas coloring books.
Our work.
Yeah, Joe's going to supervise. Maria brought up the tables.
I washed them.
You know what I was wondering, Maria?
What?
What if
What were you wondering, Mom?
What if we were to put these chairs on the other side? Would it look prettier if we had the wooden chairs on this side and put the folding chairs on that side? I think we'll do that.
So one thing when you're doing this, you add a lot of butter to this and it makes stick to the rolling pin a lot. So what I'll do is like I flatten it just a little bit and then put flour on either side, but then once I roll it out like bigger, then I just lightly sprinkle some flour over it because otherwise it'll really stick. And then another thing, this dough really likes to crack when it's thin. So you have to really make sure that that doesn't happen. And then if you use all the scraps and try to mush them together, they really, if they're cut, they really don't like mushing back together. And when you roll them out, they like to separate.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Yep. Yep, that is kind of that's what happens with cutout cookies.
So there's not enough space. Can I say something?
Well, I guess I can just be called the Grinch. I accidentally put my finger with food coloring by my mouth. All right, well, this is what we're doing. We're using the candy cane cookie recipe out of cookbook number 1 on page 64. And this is what I've always used as my spritz dough recipe. At this point, I'm gonna add in the green food coloring so that it mixes in right away, because if you wait till all the way at the end, then you almost overmix the dough.
Whole bottle in.
No, do not dump the whole bottle.
That'd be like black.
That would be bad. We are going to use this little leveler. Just a second, Joe.
Mom, turn on radio right now.
Okay, Maria, you can mix that. All right, just switched over my battery so I can show you the greenness of the dough. And once we add in the flour, it is going to lighten up a little bit. So but I think it's going to be good. I think that's going to be good.
Ah!
Peter's got the last batch. Looks great. Look at all those beautiful cutout cookies. You know, when I was just at the quick grocery store, Peter, it was $19.99 for, I think it was 18 undecorated Christmas cookies. They were just the cutout like this. $19.99. And maybe it was only 12. No, there were more than 12 in there. Probably about 18. So that's amazing. That's like $40 worth of cookies right there.
Yeah. Like that?
Yes. But it should kind of lock into place actually. Unscrew this part down here. Yep. Okay, and now this fits in there, and you see how it's flat, and now it spins, so it locks it in. You see what I'm saying? There. Yep, that's good. Yep, now screw that on. And then we'll put all the dough in. Don't put that in yet. We're going to fill it up with dough. And
Fill
then
her up.
press the trees out. All right, so when you first start, you got to kind of get some of the air out. And the first couple are sometimes a little bit funny.
Here, you press, I'll sprinkle.
Yep. The first one, come on, let's get this good. Oh, that one was not terrible. Oh my goodness. It's just getting
Here, I'll wait for the...
it's just getting the rhythm.
Ooh.
And the rhythm is not here today, is it?
No.
That one is
No.
horrible too.
Wait, oh, I know what you're supposed to do.
It does not want to lift off for whatever reason today.
You do it like that.
Usually it's just twist, lift, twist, lift.
They look like 3-leaved clovers or 2-leaved clovers. Never took this long to get the hang of it.
No, usually it's just like 1 or 2.
1, 2, 3, good. 4, good. 5, good. 6, good. 7, good. 8, good. 9, good. Now these are good cookies.
Now this is what they're supposed to look like,
Do you
isn't
want me
it?
to take this one away?
Yeah, anything that looks bad, we gotta just...
This one.
Well, it's definitely took longer to get the rhythm going today, which I'm not really sure why.
That one does not look good. It looks like the tree.
Okay.
Are those good?
That's fine. Yep, those are fine. All right, but we got the rhythm. And now, in order to put the sprinkles on, what I like to do is just put a pinch and just kind of put them in the center of the tree. I'm not looking to have a ton of little sprinkles, but just...
Spritz cookies are one of my most favorite Christmas cookies because they don't have any frosting. I do not like frosting at all.
All right, we are going to continue with the cookies. These have to bake at 375 degrees for just about 4 to 6 minutes. You really do not want these to get brown. You just want them just barely done. So let me get the oven turned back on. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes here to preheat because it was just hot for the other cookies. And it's quiet in the house because the boys went out to set traps. So, whew, that's kind of nice. They want the music. I mean, it's Christmas music and it's nice and all, but they want it blaring. And then Peter wants to dance and then Joe wants to sing and it's a lot. No, we'll just bake that one up like that and then I'll eat that one. Or maybe you'll eat that one. Someone will eat it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think girls.
We're gonna get another pan of these going right now.
Yep. We still have that chicken hot pad.
Yeah. Okay, here they come. First pan is done.
We'll put the next one in the oven.
Next pan going in. Now I am putting together the frosting for the cutouts. I have a tiny bit of vanilla in there with 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to get some powdered sugar in here, and then I just add drips of milk until I get it to the spreading consistency. Alrighty, so here's the frosting. And I don't think we're gonna color it. I think we'll just leave it white and put sprinkles on. It's gonna sit here for a little bit, so I'll probably have to add a little bit more milk to it when it's time. But we need to get the rest of the trees going.
Okay, I have one thing to say. Instead of saying they look bad, just call them realistic trees. I mean, not all trees are perfect.
Right, they're wild trees.
Yeah.
Just like what we have at home.
Uh-huh. Just tell them we made the ones
or
we got in
shrubs.
our yard.
This one looks like a shrub.
A little.
That one's funny.
This one is just, you know,
That one's kind of shrubby too.
the people that just decorate their Christmas tree crazy.
Yeah. So we have less than an hour before we have to go and pick up one of Maria's friends. She's going to work on dishes. I'm starting to put together the food that's not, like the cookies, the little things I'm going to bake up for them and that kind of thing. We still have to do, yeah, the little sandwiches, mini sandwiches, and we still have to get the table set. And there's a lot. Peter is working on some more cookies. Here are the cookies that I decorated. Maria did a dozen cookies over here too. Looks like some are already getting eaten. Peter's working on some. Joe is going to work on some cookies in a little bit, but I think I'm going to have to help with the frosting of that. So it'll be a little bit before we get to you, okay, Joe?
And throw things far. That looks so pretty. And delicious. Joe's.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Because Joe, you want to decorate cookies, right?
Yes, sir.
That's hilarious.
She was the what?
They were having like
Yeah.
a live nativity
Yep.
and they're crawling out of the manger and
Oh,
she
no.
spent the rest of the nativity scene chasing after this little baby.
They had both of them.
Mom knows, she's seen it before.
Yeah. She had both of them. And
Tie-dye fuzzy beanbag.
Okay.
And I went in there and I sat on it and she showed me all her stuffed animals. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, now you start in now. 1, 2, 3, 4. We did not lose anyone, don't worry. We did not lose anyone.
That's good.
No, we did not lose anyone. What if we lost Sophie won, so she counts. Okay. But I do have like 2 books of songs.
Yeah. In just a second, we're gonna be sitting down in just a little bit.
Sorry, it didn't actually hurt.
And my dog, no, actually,
Being cream
this.
It tastes like strawberry yogurt.
It's yummy.
Strawberry yogurt?
You like that?
It's good. It
smells like strawberry yogurt.
Yeah, because it tastes like it. It does. It's actually really good.
Well, here's the aftermath of a really, really good party. At one point I said to the girls, I think I need there needs to be another waitress. Because I was just running like crazy with wanting tea and then hot cocoa and more tea and more this, and everything went over really well. I did eat the last 2 of those little cucumber sandwiches, but otherwise pretty much everything except for like some of the cookies and things. But all the other food. All of the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches went, which I was kind of surprised. They went really quick. And then, of course, the little pigs in a blanket were a winner too. It was super good. The girls are all so polite and just enjoyed, I think, being able to try the tea. I let them know, if you want to try the tea and then you get it and you're like, this is not all that it's cracked up to be, well, just dump it out and you can have some cocoa. No big deal. It's just, this is just for fun. So anyway, I actually made a cup of tea. That's okay, you can go through. So I just made a cup of tea and now I'm just gonna kind of sit down and relax for a little bit before we start tackling some of those dishes. Well, good morning everybody. I'm back into the kitchen here. I want to make a couple of yeast breads today, 2 of them. One is going to be the soft sandwich buns, which is in cookbook volume 2. On page 37, I made barbecue the other day, and we're down to just one like store-bought bun. And I know that that's what we're going to want to have for lunch today, so I thought that I would make these and have this ready so that we could have these for lunch. And then I've also, and maybe it's just because of the circles that I run in online, but there has been a recipe for a no-knead crusty cranberry pecan bread. Not a quick or a sweet bread, it's a yeast bread. And that has been just showing up time and time again. So I do want to get that into the oven as well today. Excuse me, I am still battling this cough that seems to be the worst in the morning and then late at night. So I'm just getting all of the ingredients, the milk, the egg, the butter, the sugar, the salt, into the bowl of my bread machine. All right, I probably should have not hit start on the bread machine before doing this, so there's going to be the bread machine noise in the background. But I have 1 1/4 cups of warm water. I'm going to do 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. And just a teaspoon of honey. Just going to give this a little stir. And I'm going to let this sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Until it's bubbly. While I wait for the yeast to proof, I'm just toasting up some pecans here, and I went and checked on my dried cranberry supply, and this is it. It's probably 1/4 of a cup in here. There's probably 1/4 of a cup in there. So I'm actually going to just use some fresh cranberries as well. Now this is a question that I get a lot from you guys, is where I live they don't have fresh cranberries. Can I use dried cranberries? Where I live I can't find dried cranberries. Can I use fresh cranberries? You can always interchange them, but just know that you're going to get a different result. So I've never made this bread before. What is it going to be like? The fact that I'm going to use some dried cranberries and then I'm going to use some fresh frozen cranberries. I don't know, but I think it's going to be fine. There is going to be a little more moisture content in the fresh cranberries than the dried cranberries, so that's going to change it up. It might take a little bit longer to bake. I'm not 100% sure. So I mean, some things, like for example, if a cookie calls for dried cranberries and you substitute with fresh cranberries, again, it's going to change it up. There's going to be more moisture content. It's probably going to bake a little bit differently. And Joe is in a muscle shirt and shorts today. I guess it is 32. It is 32, so maybe that's why. All right, I need to turn off the nuts. I need to check on my yeast, which didn't bubble a whole lot. That's not very, very bubbly. So I wonder, I'm actually going to dump this and start over. I'm going to do from my fresh jar of yeast. I always keep them in the refrigerator, so I'm not really sure what the reasoning is why this didn't seem to bubble. But we're just going to, and it was only a teaspoon of honey in the water, so I'm going to start over.
teaspoon of water.
All right, well, this foamed up a lot better than the first time, so I'm going to continue with the recipe. I just have to look it up here on my phone. I'm going to do, okay, I don't have a kitchen scale that does grams, so she says 1 to 2 teaspoons depending on the brand. She also says 2.5 to 3.5 cups flour depending on the brand. Okay, what should I do? Well, we're just going to go with the 1 teaspoon salt, and we're going to start with 2.5 cups of flour.
Yeah.
Peter has joined me in the kitchen, so he's taking all my stuff. All right. Oh, let's get some flour going here.
2 things. Are you videoing?
Yes, I'm videoing. Okay, so we're starting with the 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to start stirring that.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Rolled oats.
Okay, at this point, I've now decided I'm not going to add in the fresh cranberries. I think this looks just fine, like this. So this is supposed to be mixed until all the ingredients combine. It says it should be shaggy and sticky.
Put the lid on everything.
Yeah.
And the lid off of that.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
All right, at this point, I just need to cover this with a clean tea towel, let it rise on the counter for 1 hour. Okay, so here is the hamburger bun dough. It's like super soft. This is just a pillowy soft dough. So I'm going to get this rolled out, get these formed into hamburger buns, get those rising. Now you can roll this out and cut with a biscuit cutter if you'd like them to all be perfectly even. I don't mind so much, so I'm just going to tear off balls and roll it and form them. Alright, it ended up making 17, so I like to roll them in balls, put them on my pan, and then I go back through and I smush them all down because I want them to kind of rise a little bit more evenly, you know, like how a hamburger bun would. So I'm going to get these covered, get these rising. In the meantime, my timer here for this bread went off. And yes, it did rise. It actually did rise. So not a ton, but it is supposed to be kind of a dense, crusty loaf. So I have to look at the directions. I know I have to do something like transfer this over to a Dutch oven or something like that. So let me check the directions and I'll get back with you. So I'm reading over the directions and there are a lot of directions for this bread. At this point it says I'm supposed to turn it out onto a floured breadboard and then I'm supposed to shape it into a round loaf. Well, it also says not to punch it down. Mine is already shaped very nicely into a round loaf. It also then says that I'm supposed to put it into a proofing basket. Honestly, I don't know what a proofing basket is. I haven't looked that up. It says then I should let it rise for another 30 minutes covered. Anyway, it says then to put it onto parchment paper. It doesn't say to have the Dutch oven into the oven preheating, but the directions clearly make it sound like I'm supposed to be using oven mitts to transfer this to the Dutch oven without burning myself, and then cover it and bake it for 30 minutes. So mine already looks like a circle, so I'm just gonna cover it for another 30 minutes, get my oven preheating, get my Dutch oven into the oven to get hot, and pull out some parchment paper. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, I went back to the website because I had just screenshotted all of it and I missed one important direction, and it says to preheat the oven to 460 degrees. I have a digital, and so I can do that. I mean, on my old range, I wouldn't have been able to do that because I just had 425, 450, you know, that kind of thing. So this says 460, which seems awfully hot, but that's what it says. And it also says to put the Dutch oven into the oven with the lid on to get that preheated. So I'm going to cover. I didn't cover this yet. So we're going to cover. I feel like I'm all over the place here with you guys today, but I'm just taking you through, you know, a brand new recipe, and that's kind of how it is when it's a brand new recipe. Sometimes you read the directions a couple times, you're like, what are they telling me to do? Okay, so let's get this preheated.
Right now.
And they would have been.
I wish you a Merry Christmas. Yeah.
The Christmas Station.
So at 30 minutes, this was actually kind of smelling burnt to me. So, but I let it do its thing, and then I took the lid off. It said that it should be maybe very, very light to having just a little bit of color, but then to take the lid off, bake it for another 5 to 15 minutes. So I only put it in for another 3 minutes. I thought it was plenty done. The cranberries, anything that's like on the outside like this, to me actually looks like it's kind of burnt. So we'll see. It's supposed to cool for an hour. I mean, it does have a nice hollow sound. I don't know. I feel like there definitely has to be something more. The hamburger buns have risen nicely. I have one pan in there already. I turned the oven to 350 degrees. We're going to go 10 minutes. Sometimes they can go up to 15. It really depends. So I'll just watch them carefully. I really don't want to wait. So I'm going to cut into this and just see. Oh boy. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. That's a lot of carbs.
Those are full sheets.
Let's smear some butter on here. Oh.
Let's try.
You want to try it too? Whoops. We just dropped a nut. It's very, very, very crunchy. What do you think about it?
The called is chips in it. And chips and salt and sugar. And butter and
It's very
bread.
crunchy.
And bread and nuts.
I can't really tell how the flavor is. I mean, it's good,
And it.
but so far,
See you guys.
it's nothing special. We'll see what Warren thinks. So Peter has a recommendation.
It needs like a glazed frosting on it.
You know who will definitely agree with you?
Dad.
Yeah. He says everything needs a glaze.
It does. Like
I say
with
nothing
the
needs frosting.
cranberries.
You don't want any frosting?
Don't like it.
With like the cranberries and the nuts with it, and then how the bread is, yeah, it needs like a glaze.
With the held back for seconds. That's a good sign.
And here's how the buns turned out. They're
Yeah, start
nice and airy and fluffy and
Wait.
yummy, yummy. Yes.
Turn the spoon around a little bit.
Oh, you're gonna spin it around?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Thank you.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Thank you. It has been a while since I've sorry, excuse me. since I have gotten outside and like filmed while I've been on a little walk or something. To be honest, there haven't been a whole lot of walks, especially this month of December. It just seems like it's just busy. It is just full. Lots of things. Now we're in the last, let's see, 36 hours before we celebrate Christmas. And so, is that right? No, I'm sorry, not 36. I was thinking a day was 12 hours. We're in the last 72 hours before, maybe I said it right. I don't even know anymore. This cough has kind of been kicking my butt. And although no fever, no other like ailments from it, but just other than just seems to make me tired. And maybe it's that time of year too. Anyway, I was saying there haven't been a whole lot of these walks in December with it being so busy and everything. And you know, it made me think my original plan was that we were going to school all the way up until through today, Thursday, and then we were going to take off. And we schooled last week, and then this week we really didn't school much. We did, when I say school, I mean actual book work. I don't know how much book work is actually happening in the schools this week either, but anyway, we schooled on Monday, and then we did a small amount of grammar on Tuesday, and that's it. I mean, we didn't, oh, Maria did a little math on Monday too, but otherwise it's been a very light week of homeschool, and it got me thinking, this is when we need the time off. I don't need time off between Christmas and New Year's. I don't need recovery time. I need prep time. And so I just kind of had that thought, so what that we take off right now? And if you're in that predicament too, it's too late for you to change those plans by the time I get this video edited. Hopefully it'll be up before Christmas. You know, it's too late to change those plans this year, but in future years, if you're homeschooling, I say let's start taking off that whole week before Christmas and then just getting back to it after Christmas. I mean, yeah, it just seems like that would be so much smarter. Can you guys hear the bulldozer? There's always projects going on a cranberry marsh. It's so very different than, I guess, than in my mind what I think happens on like dairy farms or something. In the cranberry world, there's a lot of land maintenance, and always, you know, when you're dealing with moving water throughout the year, you get erosion, you get dikes that collapse, you have muskrats that dig holes, causes dikes to collapse. There's always just a lot of like land, what would I call it? Land maintenance. And so that's what Warren is doing. He is working, I don't know, I'll go up here a little bit further and then we'll be able to see him. Let's get up here. Okay. Oh, and my battery is just about to die here. So yeah, he's way over there, and he is just kind of smoothing out some dirt right now. He's doing some dike repair, and yeah, it's just always something like that going on here. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. My battery died, and it must have been from the cold because I had just put this one in a little bit ago, or I put that one in a little bit ago. But anyways, the cold just kind of made it die. So anyway, I was just taking shipments down to the mailbox for Cindy and Dawn. I hope that those were not intended to be Christmas presents, other than maybe just presents to yourself, because I do find it a challenge to every day be printing labels. I usually do it just where I print on Monday nights usually, or Tuesday mornings, and then we get everything shipped off each week on Tuesday. But when it is in December, I do try to do it more often. Of course, there's lots of things that you have to add to the list in December, and so it is a challenge for me to get those off, but they are down to the post office, or they are down to the mailbox now, and hopefully they should get to you soon. All right, well, with that, I am going to sign off here for a few days. Like I said, 72 hours until we celebrate our Christmas. I have 4 presents to wrap. I have probably maybe 3 or 4. I mean, I have 10 kinds of cookies I'd like to make, but I'm probably going to get maybe 3 or 4 of them made. There's just a couple little outdoor decorations that I'd like to put out yet. I have one gift to make, and I think that's going to round out the 72 hours quite nicely. I hope that you guys have a very, very Merry Christmas, and just sending you all of our love and prayers for a wonderful new year. So see you guys soon. Bye-bye.